You better stay indoors today and turn on the heater because a brutal winter is coming. As I'll be doing an analysis of a Frostpunk 2 theme. This video is made possible thanks to 11-Bit Studios. More on that at the end. Boom! I like that descending glissando in the strings. That was pretty cool. Sounds very ominous. Okay, these melodic strings are starting to tell a story already. But there's a thread. I think the first cue of the song serves really well like a prologue, in which we feel uncertainty, everything seems shrouded and confusing, and it establishes a threshold of tension right from the start. I actually was imagining myself as a wanderer, walking through the grueling winter. Yet this period of nebulousness is somewhat clear when the music transitions into this big chord that sounds like a discovery, like you were wandering and found a settlement. And I'm going to take back the premise of the prologue and say that perhaps this is how the sequel concatenates with the first game. The ending of the first one might be clouded in mystery. We don't really know for sure what happened until we play Frostpunk 2. But we are already getting some answers to that in the main theme. This is where the music transforms into something more melodic, and the fog starts to dissipate just enough to peek into the real story of the track. It is not about this cold, cold world. It is about the human struggle. Yes! They brought back the City Must Survive theme, mates. Getting goosebumps. I think it makes so much sense that the theme from The City Must Survive made a comeback as the main theme of this game. It's the track that plays in one of the most grueling moments in Frostpunk 1, the song that engrossed all the sacrifices and the pain we endured with our people. All the stakes amounted to that moment. Now, I know that the song borrows in great measure from the main theme from the first game, but let's take a listen and I'll explain why. As you can hear, the main theme is more sober, intimate. It does contain the source of the conflict, of course, and that's really the core from which The City Must Survive borrows. You see, this track does not only bring the struggle and all the emotional depth of the theme to another level, but also contains an energy threshold that bridges seamlessly with the theme in Frostpunk 2. Their spirits are akin to each other. Frostpunk 2 theme has a bigger scale, it feels more lush. Its storytelling revolves around how the human race is hanging by a thread, yet the pulse of life still endures. Despite all the challenges, we're still here. and we can still hear the heart pounding amidst the deafening noise. And part of that scale is attributed to the fact that they brought in a chamber orchestra as opposed to the first game, which was a string quartet. And here's where a crucial difference elaborates the story further. While the main theme in the first game is more intimate, and you could make the argument that it could be the most emotional one, since we were on the brink of extinction, Frostpunk 2 may surprise us with challenges that could even dwarf the ones that we faced in the previous game. One that I can think about is, now that the city is bigger, there's more people. More people means more resource management, more ways of thoughts, more factions, more problems. So my hypothesis is that now the threat to our survival is not only the brutal winter this time, now we must face perhaps the greatest threat yet, our own kind. Wow. It dumped all the energy and now the cue turned into ambience. Listen to that brass. Like, this is a horror cue, basically. Very low register strings as well as the brass. And listen to those unhinged strings. Ever so slightly changing the pitch. Yeah, it's very unnerving. I think this final cue is almost like I was listening to a theme from a survival horror game. The thing is that it aligns perfectly with the premise of Frostpunk 2, because even though it's a real-time strategy game, one of the most unique things about it is that its core gameplay is based on survival. So these heavy ambient sounds, the low brass and strings that bring the feeling of danger, the shrouded atonality in some of the layers that surfaces a jarring feeling, they all amount to a sort of premonition of the conflict, of the struggle, and even horrific events that await us in this sequel. The music really serves as a critical vehicle for conveying the bleakness, the tension, and the fleeting hope that will permeate the player's experience. I would recommend that you watch a video here on YouTube called The Sound of Frostland, where the composer and the sound designer gives you more insights on how they accomplish these things. I will leave the link in the description. To wrap this up, I would like to congratulate Piotr for making yet another beautiful theme that conveys, the emotional weight and the depth that we will experience in Frostpunk 2, but bringing some degree of legacy from the first game as well. I also want to give my utmost gratitude to 11-Bit Studios for considering me to do this collaboration and believe in what I do. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and check this other Frostpunk analysis that I did, alright? I'll see you there.